All living organisms need nourishment to grow and to live. The human organism is very complex, and so it requires not only nourishment, but proper nourishment if we are to survive. The scriptures today notice that Jesus is eager to find a way to nourish his people after he ascends into heaven. And so he gives us two things. By making Peter the head of the apostles, he gives us two things, the liturgy of the word and the liturgy of the Eucharist. The Second Vatican Council said that the scriptures were to be opened more lavishly during the liturgy of the word, so people could be fed more fully from their scriptures. And so now, ever since then, we've had a 3-year cycle for the Sunday readings and a 2-year cycle for the daily readings. So more scriptures are being read now at Mass than they ever were before Vatican II, nourished by the Word of God. But then in the body and blood of the Eucharist, it's the Paschal banquet in which Christ is consumed, grace is received, and the pledge of future glory is given. That's the summation of St. Thomas Aquinas of the Eucharist. And so we're fed by the liturgy of the word and by the body and blood of the Eucharist at Mass. And we can never underestimate that, the strength that it gives us to live our Christian life. In the first reading, St. Paul had been in prison for 2 years. That was just one of the many hardships he endured for preaching the gospel. And how did he do it? It was by that daily being fed by the Word of God and by the Eucharist. In fact, he was so close to the Word of God that he was used by God to write many of the books of the New Testament. And so here we are at Mass, still being nourished by the Word of God and the body and blood of the Eucharist. And what a great gift it truly is. We must cherish it and know that the Lord is with us always and gives us the strength, just as Paul was able to carry on, even despite his many frustrations and so forth that happened to him. So we too are to be able to carry on by the strength given to us from the Word of God and his body and blood in the Holy Eucharist. Let us stand and offer our prayers and petitions.